Hello and welcome back to Darren Doing. I'm Hester and I'm joined by the brilliant Ben Bowman. Ben, how you feeling after last night, mate? It was a bit of a I don't even know how to describe it. How'd you go about it?
I'm feeling. I feel like there has been a big sense of unwavering positivity just wash over me today. I think everything's going to be absolutely fine, and we're going to win the fucking lot. All right, and Andrew's the best manager in the world. No, I feel all right. I feel all right. It was really frustrating last night. I don't think the result is the end of the world. There was a lot to. I wouldn't say there was a lot to not like, but there was some things I really didn't like. I think there was a lot to like as well in terms of some of the stuff that we did do. Yeah, it's a frustrating one. Do you know what is more frustrating is where it's kind of left us a little bit in the Europa League as well. Because if we'd have just won last night, regardless of how we did it, you know, that Rangers away game next is looking a bit.
Don't get nervous.
Don't get nervous.
I'll take a little bit shaky.
Yeah, it's like you get into a stage where it's like, I'll take a point now. It's like
the Ibrox are going to be fucking rocking, aren't they? And they're
going to be so up for it. And they won 4-1 away at Nice last night, I think.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice, to be fair. You know them biscuits you used to have, like Nice. Are they Nice biscuits or nice biscuits? Everyone, let me know in the comments. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Google Nice biscuits right now. Do it
right now. Literally right now.
Yeah.
Nice biscuits.
You'll not surely people know what that
is. Yeah.
Are they Nice or nice?
I reckon they're just pretty nice.
Spell it in the comments, right? Spell it in the comments.
Yeah, how are you spelling that? Mate, I'm actually feeling quite good. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I didn't have a fucking meltdown last night.
Yeah,
I turned the TV off and went to bed and forgot about it. And I woke up, and the first thing I didn't think was, I just first thing I didn't think about Spurs first moment I woke up.
Yeah,
I've gone about today. I know the podcast is coming. We're going to talk about it anyways, and it's just one of those. Like, we could have scored 7.
Yeah, we should have scored 7.
We didn't. We should have scored 7. Let's just fucking move on to the Fulham game. So let's go into Fulham then. No, joking.
Oh, that's classic. I was more upset about the fact that the fucking kebab shop weren't open when I got back to my car.
Oh no!
I know. I was annoyed.
Gutted, man. That's worse than the result.
I've been feeling good this week. I've been back in the gym every day. I've been like, you know, just I've been feeling good, and I was like, you know what? I'm starving because basically I went to the game straight from the gym. I went gym.
Serious?
Like an hour, then went for a little swim, steam room, sauna, had a shower at the gym, got changed for football at the gym, and because I couldn't drink because I was driving, so I was like, well, I wasn't driving to the game. I got the train from where the gym is, and I was like, I didn't really have anything to eat, so I was like, I had a sandwich on the way, and I was like, oh, you know what? I usually get kebab like after Spurs, but I'm like being good. So I was like, really fancy kebab, but I'm just gonna get like chicken shish, rice, and salad or something instead. And the kebab shop won't open because my train got cancelled. So so that annoyed me more. That annoyed me more than the game. I'd probably say, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what annoyed me, is that the second half was actually pretty shit on a whole, The first half, the first 10 minutes, I was coming back from seeing my granddad, and there was traffic on the way home, so I missed the first, 10 minutes, Then I was so hungry. I was 1-0 up. I was so hungry, and I was like, fuck, what can I eat that's quick to make? And I could just quickly make it. Beans on toast, right? So I'm watching the game and then running in and whisking up the beans, running back into the game. And every single time I go out to try and fucking make a bit of beans on toast or like to get the toast out of the toaster, my dad's like, oh, fuck it. And like it's going end to end. I'm missing all the chances. By the time I sat down, all the chances were done. And then I watched the absolute dross in the second half. So like it was like fucking every single time I went out to make beans on toast, I missed like the best bits of the match, but I caught up with them after the game with the highlights. But you know what? It was one of those games.
Nice beans on.
Oh, so good, mate. Sourdough bread, and I put a bit of cheese on top, melted onto the beans. I was loving it.
Yeah.
But the second half was a bit frustrating. So we'll get into the first half. What for you? What was working? What were you impressed by? Can I just say, put some fucking respect on Fraser Forster's name. Yeah, he's shit. But last night, I loved him. He made some unbelievable saves that I would never expect him to make. That's all I want to say about Fraser Forster. But yeah, what do you like about the first half? What caught your eyes and what changed at half time? I know we still have a few chances in the second half, but what was the difference?
Mate, Fraser Forster was actually great. Yeah. I saw some people kind of going for him a little bit, and I was like, where was it in the ground? Like, well, for their first goal, I was kind of behind it because I was like on the corner, so I could see it, but I was like, I couldn't really tell if he should have maybe done better. I don't know. It felt like he got a hand on it, but I think that's been a bit pernickety if people are criticising him for that. He also made 2 brilliant saves in the game. Obviously, one was right at the end before the goal, and then the Dybala one. The one from Dybala I thought was great. But I think the one from Dybala and how that kind of came about was, I think, emphasised what we were doing wrong or what we were poor at kind of in that first half. I thought we kind of struggled to not even necessarily break their press because they weren't pressing us, but there were so many times where, and the way that came about was from us playing the ball out from the back to Solanke kind of pushing up from the halfway line, dropping in to collect the ball. And I think Dom is just running on empty a little bit, and I think that's why he was. I don't think he was poor last night. I don't think he was poor at all, but I think he wasn't as good as he has been in other games. Decision making in the final third aside, I thought he lost a lot of duels, which I don't think we've really seen so far yet this season. I don't think I've seen the centre back deal with Solanke as well as Hummels did last night. Genuinely, I thought it was really good. Yeah. And that chance came from him just getting in there, being physical with Solanke and just nicking the ball off him, and they turn it over. And the thing is, you can't afford as much as Roma have been crap, right, this season and in the last 8 months or whatever it's been. Like, you can't afford to be that complacent against a side who has got a new manager bounce and has that much individual quality. So I thought we kind of rode our luck in that sort of 15, 20-minute spell, maybe after we went 1-0 up and they equalised. They got the goal disallowed as well. And I think we were just a bit sloppy. Not playing out from the back necessarily, but, not picking up the second balls, letting Roma kind of have it their own way a little bit too much, losing those duels, like I said. But I really, really enjoyed the performance from the half an hour point till like the end of the end of the first half.
Yeah,
and I think the catalyst was kind of when Sarr nipped in and won that ball back, and he had that chance where the keeper saved it. I like the kind of confidence for him to drive on himself. We weren't doing that enough, really. I thought that was kind of the spark and the turning point, and we had it all our own way after that point, and we scored a brilliant goal. The Johnson goal was just a fantastic example of what we can do. I thought the move for the penalty as well was Ange ball, kind of in its essence, really playing out for the back. Sonny coming in off the left, Dom picking it up, out to Johnson, little underlapping run from Porro, cut back, and Sarr could get a shot off there, but he's taken out. I can't believe they didn't give that penalty in real time, by the way. And I was at the game, but apparently Glenn Hoddle was doing Glenn Hoddle things last night, whether it was the penalty or not. But yeah, I really enjoyed the performance from when we scored, or just before we scored that second goal up until then. But we should have killed it off. We should have really killed it off. Obviously, Decky had the chance where he hit the post, which was unlucky. I mean, how good was he in that first half as well? From that point, just that sort of free roll that he had. Like, do you know what we said the other day? Did we say the other day? I feel Decky is like Ange personified on the pitch. He is his kind of. And he said something about him today, which I can't remember what it was, but I think he kind of emphasised that even further. He said, I've got a feeling with Decky that he's not going to settle for being anything other than the best, and that's going to benefit us. Like, in terms of the standards, etc. Like, he said that in the presser today. And he just completely grew into the game, just completely took it over and was just fantastic. The freedom to kind of roam into that channel where he picked the ball up for the goal, and then when he hit the post, physicality, just everything, engine superb. And then Sonny blazes the one over after Decky hits the post. I thought Sonny's people gave Solanke some stick in the second half, and look, that 4v2 situation I think was unforgivable to make.
That was fucking ridiculous.
It was really poor, from Solanke to hit the wrong option. But I thought Sonny was just as bad with some of the stuff that he was doing in that final third as well. Like, there was the one where again in that period in the first half where we should have just killed him dead. There was the one where it ended up with Decky having the shot where he just bent it wide with his right foot. Sonny comes in off the line, plays the little 1-2 with Decky. Goes like they drag Hummels out because they know they've got to step out to be physical with Decky. Son gets in the space, and it's like, how many times have you seen him just run onto it? One step over, bang, at least get a shot off. Didn't even get shot off. He just dilly-dallied way too much. And I thought, that was really frustrating. But we ended the first half really, really well, and there was a lot to like about it.
Yeah, we should have fucking put that game to bed, and we should have gone into half time at like at least 4-1 up. At least we could have even had more. But I mean, can I just say on Roma?
Yeah.
I felt last night watching that I was in a simulation. I felt like I was in a real life career mode back when I had 0 pubes. Yeah, actually, I still don't. But they were like when I was playing FIFA on my Dybala, El Shaarawy, Matt Hummels, Ranieri is the fucking manager. I felt like I was playing FIFA 15 and I'd simulated about 10 years later. And and Son's still at Spurs, and then you've got like Matt Hummels, El Shaarawy, Dybala, like all these players like playing.
That also just
Roma.
Go completely over your head that he signed for Roma as well, Matt Hummels, because I had no idea.
100%. I thought he fucking retired.
Yeah,
and he was quality as well. He fucking scored.
He was really good. Yeah, he was really.
He
good.
was really good.
I don't think I've seen the centre back deal that well with Solanke this season. Like, I think Solanke obviously was struggling. I do think he was struggling. Obviously, he went down with that groin injury, but Anne just said he's fine apparently, so which is good. But even before that, I actually think he kind of got better after that, really, to be honest. But before that, he just, I don't know, like, he looks knackered, looks absolutely knackered. And, you know, we don't, obviously, last night, I don't think Lancashire would have started, but I think that he obviously trusts him, and it's good that we're back for the next Europa League game. And it was obviously just unfortunate he was banned for that one. But Richarlison is just so frustrating because it's like we're just running. If we've got to play one game every 3 days or 4 days, whatever, for the next month, and we've got one striker basically, or I think he will use Lancashire when he can, but Solanke's so integral to what we want to do, and I think I do think his decision making in the final third and maybe his finishing does have to improve, but that's gonna come. He brings so much to the team that if you take him out of it, then you've got a massive problem.
Well, how many injuries has Richarlison had in the last this season alone? This season, we're third into the season, not even that, and he's had like 2 injuries. How many minutes has he played like altogether collectively? Probably about fucking 20, and he's like genuinely like. That's where we need to go out and get a player that can, like a Mamouche or someone like that, who can play up front, and we need to be ruthless. And I think, well, it's up to Richarlison, isn't it? He obviously has the final say, but it's a problem now because it's actually detrimental to Solanke as well. Is that the right word? Detrimental? Yeah, fucking hell. Sorry. Thanks, Ben. You're like my dictionary. But can I just say on Kulusevski, because I think the Solanke is a nice segue into what I was going to say, but reacting to the tactical tweaks that Ranieri made for and how we need the game, we need these players that. And now this is where we need to add. He's played his way into the fact that we need to now mold this project around him. He's the face of this Ange Postecoglou project. We need to add more game changers to him, but he's our most important player. He's our game changer, and he's excellent. He got an assist last night, but he should have got more. He was that good, and he was causing. They didn't know how to handle him. But the second half, so they brought on Sule for Dybala. He looked really good, Sule. Actually,
it was
good.
Dybala,
but what they did was they obviously they overloaded the left and right back, so Archie Gray and Porro, and they would just keep constantly switching the ball left to right and then getting numbers in the box and overloading the back post, and it was a problem. I understand why we didn't adjust to that, and I'll say why, but that it was frustrating. I thought we could have reacted. What I personally would have done, I could see Solanke was getting fatigued. I would have put Son on Hummels and have Son as just run and keep stretching the defence on the transition, I would have had Maddison and Kulusevski as the floating tens, Bissouma and Bentancur. I would have just brought a doggy on, let Gray, Dragusin and Davis play the natural sort of back three, a doggy and Porro, just to help out and sort of cover for Gray, because he was dealing with two players and it's not his natural position. And it was causing us so many problems.
Yeah.
And on another day, I think we concede from those attacking defensive scenarios. We didn't make the reaction, but I was frustrated but I could kind of see why, because when they were pushing all their fullbacks and their wing backs high, it was leaving so much space on the transition for Son, Johnson. Sarr would get the ball and progress, or Solanke, and everyone would bomb on and we'd catch them out, but we just didn't put the game to bed, and obviously we ended up drawing the game. I think that was the reasoning behind the fact that we didn't react to that. But I still think even if we had a doggy Porro, they could have pushed up in transition as well. Like, I think that was the move to make. So it was a bit frustrating. I was frustrated with that. Apart from that, I think it was just one of those games where it was just like we just didn't take our chances, got punished. Again, our game management needs to improve massively. Massively. We could sense they were creeping in at confidence. Last 5 minutes at a time, we didn't really do anything about it, and it was frustrating. And we come away from the draw. But again, all of these things, you got to take them as positives. They're frustrating, but the team's so young, and they're going to learn that if you don't play in a mature manner, if you don't react to scenarios, and if you're erratic in trying to speed the game up when understanding game state. If you don't understand game state, you'll get punished.
Yeah.
And these are lessons for them. These are lessons for those players on the pitch, because you got Archie Gray at the end of the game. We had Archie Gray, we had Bergvall, we had was Sarr playing at the end by the end of it? I don't think he was, but
I think Sarr came off,
we got a lot of young players in the team. These are lessons they're going to have to learn. And obviously Roma have a very experienced team, so they obviously smelt blood and caught us out, would have come away with a draw. So it's a good result for them. It's a bit of a frustrating result for us, but I think we move on. Jackie Nickout has a question on the sort of criticism of the way we defended. He says, why is the narrative over suicidal football coming out after last night? We sat stupidly deep and invited pressure for most of the second half, and that's why we gave up so many chances. If we played on the front foot like we normally do, we would have been fine. More Jose than Ange. What do you think about that, mate?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely, I felt like the second half was definitely a bit more transitional, but I think that was probably more, or we wanted to play on the transition a bit more, but I think that's probably, maybe that's because of fatigue more than anything, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, you look at that forward line and how much football that they've played. Maybe it was to do with that. Suit them a little bit better rather than just to keep going and going and going, you know, especially after kind of the wave of pressure that we had at the end of the first half. And then it was kind of all Roma from like the 45th minute to maybe the 60th when we kind of got back in the game again. It felt like we probably needed to maybe make those changes a little bit earlier to get maybe Maddison and Bissouma on to freshen things up and allow them just to get on the ball and just slow things down a little bit and just regain control of the football a little bit. I liked when Bissouma came on and we pushed Bentancur that little bit further forward. I thought Bissouma was excellent when he came on, to be honest.
Yeah, he was.
Maddison, not so much, but you know, I don't think there needs to be too much in kind of written into that or digested out of that, really. But yeah, maybe we did sit deeper. I think we were too narrow as well. Like, and one thing that does bug me is that I just don't think our wingers do anywhere near enough to help their fullbacks out. Like, and that causes back post problems, doesn't it? We've had back post problems all season. And last night, especially if we come up against a team that plays with wing backs and they do want to come onto you and you have to sit in a little bit, they've got 2v1 at the back post basically every single time, especially with Angelino. Like, how many opportunities did Angelino have where either we just got the header there before he got there, we're able to clear it, or he had that one that hit the bar, you know, like, I don't know what that is, and I don't know what.
No, that was infuriating.
But it felt inevitable that they were going to score somehow. Obviously, the goal was Forster made an excellent save before it. I don't really know what Bissouma was doing for the goal, where he's kind of just stood in front of Forster and just like playing everyone on side. Like, he's not playing everyone on side. It is inadvertently, but like he's not. I don't know. Like, yeah, I kind of get what Jack's saying, but it was a bit. I don't know. I think that's probably down to fatigue. January is going to be big. I think Ange kind of said it, didn't he? He said today that he's already had conversations with Lang about January, which is positive because I said it
very positive.
I said it about Dom. I said it about a few other players. Becky ended on one as well. Like, just feel like some of these players are running on empty a touch.
Yeah, massively.
Which isn't good.
Yeah,
with the amount of games we've got coming up.
I know we're going to get onto the window because we haven't spoken about the Vicario injury yet. But actually, talking about goalkeepers, the Forster save. I got up, started fucking celebrating like mental because I was like, just Fraser Forster, mate. I just want to shake your hand.
I want to shake his hand.
Mate, his hand is like 5 of mine. Mate, I've got my mum's hand and I've got my mum's dick as well, unfortunately. But I like Fraser Forster, mate. He would crush my hands if he shook my hand. But
I once met when I was younger.
I thought you were going to say you met him.
Not Fraser Forster. I wish I did. No, I met Pat Jennings when I was younger. Obviously from Spurs goalie. And he's still around the club. I remember seeing him in under 21s game recently. I think he does a lot with like the young goalkeepers, which is quite good. I met him. And I was about, to be fair, I was about 6 years old. And I've got quite small hands as well, right? Like smallish hands, or like I don't feel like my hands are in proportion with how
they're
big.
Still the size of my head.
Yeah, just right like that. I remember meeting him and shaking it. Like his hand was fucking massive, and like my stepdad and a load of people like obviously used to watch Pat Jones play for Spurs. Just say like he should just come out and just catch balls one-handed. He's just such big hands. You just come and get it. But mate, Fraser Forster. Go on.
I've heard that Pat Jennings has to, when he used to play, he'd have to tuck his cock into his sock. Yeah, and he wore low socks as well.
Like Vertonghen.
Just saying. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like Grealish.
Yeah, Grealish. Yeah, I mean, you know what they say: big hands, big gloves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Forster did really well. Was really good, Forster. He was really, really good. And I was tweeting out. Oh my god, that was like one of the best saves I've ever seen. And by the time I'd like sent it and looked up, we conceded. I was like, "What the fuck?" And yeah, it was always coming. But I want to kind of want to move on from the game. Nothing we could do about it now, and I feel like we've covered everything we can cover. I want to. I kind of want to talk about you. There was a bit of a overreaction. I think I get people being like frustrated
last night.
Yeah, I just think there was some weird comments, weird remarks, and people. It's almost like they've got their opinions. Every time their sort of, their opinion sort of comes to fruition. They're almost like gloating in it, bloating in it. Fucking hell, what when I say gloating in it? Yeah. Bloating. And there was a lot. On the timeline. That's why I was just like, I'm just gonna go to bed. On the timeline, there was just a lot of just a lot. I think just people overreacting, to be honest. And you said it reminded me of what you said last episode. We just beat Man City 4-0 away from home, and I was saying, look, we need to go now to Fulham, Roma. We need to do them, and we need to keep this up. And you said, yeah, but let's not bring the house down if we don't. And I feel like some people wanted to bring the house down, but there was still a bit of an even playing ground with a lot of people being like, okay, let's just move on, and it sort of balanced it out. But I don't know. I get frustrated with I think there's this massive misconception at the moment of if you're gonna be as a fan, you're either really, really negative or really, really positive. And that Matty Hayes tweet fucking it made me laugh and it pissed me off so much at the same time. Of like, what do you say? It was like, unwavering positivity is just as toxic as unwavering negativity. And it was like, come on, mate. Like,
it was the little emoji at the end of it as well. Why are you trying to create?
The like love.
It's just a bit smarmy, I thought. And like, it's nothing personal against him. I don't know. I don't know Matt. I've never spoken to him. I've never really engaged with him. I mean, I did last night because I just thought that tweet was. I thought it was weird because I didn't see that. Like, fair enough. Enough. Look, again, everyone's for. Look, this is what Twitter is. Like, everyone's For You page might be different, and he might have had people that just like. But I don't understand what he would have interpreted necessarily as unwavering positivity based on what he was seeing. I don't get that. Like, I don't get it. Because most of what I saw, and look, when I was in the ground, I just kind of just like I did my little quick match review on TikTok and then just fucked off and went home. I didn't stay for a beer, so I didn't really get the vibe of what my mates were saying, or like, you know, But I met up with my mate at the train on the way home when I found out the kebab shop was closed, and he was kind of just like, it was what it was, and he's kind of more like he's getting more frustrated with Tottenham than me. You know, he's like, oh, it's just that after City, he was a bit like, they're doing my head in. It's just like why are we like this kind of thing? He's definitely more like that than I am. He's not, you know, he's a positive guy. Like, but he was very much just like, well, you know, is what it is. Like, I don't think anybody was. It's not like people were skipping down the high road after we'd lost, after we'd drawn, sorry, and we're like on to Fulham, yay! It was just a bit. I don't know what he saw that made him think that. Look, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I don't really. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't understand, Robbie. I don't understand. I don't know what he was saying with that. He's trying to divide the fan base.
It felt really unnecessary. I think.
Yeah, really unnecessary, and that pissed me off more than the fucking result.
Yeah, same. It
was the. I feel like a lot of fans. This is the problem. Fans want to be right. They want the credit. They want the ball knowledge. Sort of, they want to see things coming before other fans see it, and take the high ground. I think, and as fans, like we just need to just like. I feel like, I mean, I'm not going to tell anyone how to support the club, but it's so much better. You feel better when you sort of just roll with the punches and and just take it game by game, because I think we all have an idea of what it's going to be like in the future, and we get caught up in the emotion of the game to game. It does get really frustrating. I mean, fucking hell, I was all over the place during that last international break, mate. Locked myself in the room, just crying.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't there. I weren't, but I was watching, like, I was trying to get into other sports. Like, I was just fucking all over the place. And then as soon as we beat Man City, I was like, we're back and we're ready to do it all over again. I was just, yeah, mate.
But we also did just beat Man City 4-0. Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? It was like,
exactly. And I just think, but yeah, the majority of the Spurs fans I talk to, they're pretty like level-headed. I don't get there's the perception of it being so like drastic and extremist. You don't really see that. And I think the people that are like that are screaming into the abyss. No one really fucking pays attention to that anyways.
No, that's the thing. Like that's the thing. It's really hard because I wish I could spend less time on social media, but unfortunately it's my job. Like TikTok is my job. I've got it's just a job. To be fair, I've got a lot better at just like, and I look, not so much for YouTube because I fucking love you guys. And it's a more sensible conversation. Although I have just seen a comment on my match breakdown that I literally just uploaded 10 minutes ago. Go and watch it if you want. Saying simple, we need to figure out low block teams. I'm like, I don't think that was the issue last night. I don't think they
played a fucking low block, did they?
They did it. Well, they did until we opened them up and dragged them out of it and just couldn't score our fucking chances. But I've got much better, I think, now with TikTok especially, which I think is a bit more. You get a lot more fucking idiots. Like, even though I'm very grateful for a lot of the people that like do comment and do get involved and stuff. And like most of the time, if someone says something sensible, I always engage with them and whatever. I've got like a lot better at just kind of putting my phone away and not engaging with, because a lot of the stuff you get through maybe on like TikTok is kind of similar to Twitter, where I don't know, you might upload a video like my match review from last night, right? And the first comment you might get might be like, Andrew's got to go, Andrew out, blah, blah, blah. And I think because there's like, I don't know, like people are obsessed with saying something, people are so obsessed with going to the extreme, like, and I'm definitely not talking about Matt here, by the way. Like, this is kind of
I feel like we've moved on from
that.
Matt,
but like, you know, like things like the problem is with social media, and you're kind of seeing it go this way generally with football, with whether it's your club, whether it's anything, or just like some of the shit you see on there in general. Like, I feel like incel culture is kind of massively on the rise, and people just need to get out there, like really angry, like emotions that get so caught up in like living in this bubble of social media, and they don't, I don't know, like just fucking go outside, like
touch grass,
and literally talk to people and have more conversations about like, because I feel like so many people are just like, this is my opinion, and I don't know, like, not that I'm, look, everyone's entitled to their opinion and everyone's entitled to stick to it, but I just feel like so many people just don't really. Like you said, if you speak to Spurs fans in real life or like at the game or whatever, or in the pub, or just in more normal social situations where you're more likely to find normal, level-headed people for the most part, then you're going to have a more sensible conversation. And I think that's why, like last night, again, usually you think, oh, fucking hell, we go on Twitter and it's like everyone's going to be calling for Angie's head, and it's like, here we go. I didn't see that last night. I really didn't see that. But also, I didn't see people fucking going, Angie's the best manager in the world. And everything's going to be fine. We're going to win the Europa League. So I don't really know where that, to circle back to Matt's tweet, I don't really understand where that came from. But I think people just need to spend less time on social media and not worry about, just don't worry about it.
Yeah, just don't worry about it, mate. Yeah, just turn the phone off, mate. I mean, the negativity I saw, to sort of caveat your point, like or to add to your point, the negativity that I was seeing on the timeline was supported by a really frustrated game. We should have put this to bed. So I think there was a lot of, I think last night actually made people meet in the middle a lot, because you could see the positives, you could see the negatives, and you could see we're missing certain things, but we are very close to it coming together, I think. Like we are. And it was a frustrating result, and I'm feeling a little bit more positive, because if you're going to look at everyone in the Europa League, Roma are probably top 5 favourites to win it. I know they've had a shit season this year, so you got to take that out of context. But like team-wise, quality-wise, and obviously they got a new manager, Ranieri. They're going to have that new manager bounce. Games like that can happen, but we could have won about fucking 7-2, mate. Like it could have been one of those games. So I'm really not worried. I think we're going through. I think it's all about just the like getting easier competition. I think Matt Sappola said about the format and like how we get through. Hang on, let me find it. So he says Rangers, Hoffenheim, and Elfsborg remain in the Europa League and currently 9th, but only 3 points off top. How confident are you that we can secure 2 wins out of 3 for seeding in knockout round? The higher you finish, the lower ranked you play. So closer to finishing top is important. I think most of the teams in the Europa League, no matter how good they are, I think we can beat them, and we should be beating them.
Yeah.
I said. For cups competitions, if we play how we did against Man City, a little bit more pragmatic for cup competitions, I think, or knockout rounds. I think we're going to be effective in the competition, and we're going to go to the very end. Obviously, this is the table format, so we could have blown Roma away. I really, really am not worried. The Ibrox is going to be really hard. Rangers are going to be a really hard game, and it's going to feel like the end of the world if we do drop points to them as well. But I really don't. I mean, we're going to get through. It's not the end of the world. We should be beating every other team. If we can't beat them, then there is problems. Like if in the knockout rounds.
Mate, look at some of the teams that are down at the bottom of the teams that. So the teams that are currently in like the relegate or the elimination bit, you've got like Nice in there, Dynamo Kiev, Hoffenheim, who we're playing. But then you look at the teams that like are near the bottom, who are kind of just floating above that trapdoor. Like Porto have got 5 points from 5 games. Roma, obviously, who we drew to, like Alkmaar, Braga, Sociedad, Man United on, they're 12th. They're a point behind us, and we're only 3 points off top. So it's like, say worst comes to worst, we do have to play in a playoff. Well, the new format's kind of made it obviously that exciting, where it's like only 8 teams, obviously getting that bit, and there's the jeopardy of the playoffs. But there's a lot of teams that are kind of underperforming, that you wouldn't necessarily expect.
Knowing Spurs will fucking lose to Elfsborg or something like that if we get them in the knockout stages. Like we want it to be a little bit competitive, because then the players will be up for it in a way, like going off club history. I mean, how many times we've gone into Europa League and we should be winning the game, and we've just dropped the standards because maybe we think we'll cruise it, and all of a sudden we're shocked away from home and we're out. So I think the higher the competition, the kind of more beneficial it is for us, because we're not going to treat them as mugs, and we are going to try and go in there and raise the standards and come out. And I'm not too bothered. It's literally not the end of the world. We can just move on. But talking about let's go because we're talking about piecing together this final project, and you can see the potential. And also we need to talk about Vicario's injury. We were so positive after the Man City game. Literally within about 20 minutes of the pod being up, Vicario fucking broke his ankle. Well, he hasn't, but he fractured his ankle, and he's had surgery, and he's going to be out for months on end. Yeah. First of all, why did my dad take me to a Tottenham game? when I was 6. Yeah.
It's not fair, is it?
Not fair. We don't have a choice in this, mate. And then and the second thing. Oh, you did a video on goalkeepers on your YouTube, and it was good. You sort of succeeded with obviously getting a goalie, but in the January. But your choice was Kelleher predominantly, no?
Yeah, I mean that's not going to happen, is it? But
like, no, I don't know. Yeah,
he's just saved the penalty.
He's a
Mbappe
dream.
Oh, he would be the dream. Yeah, he would be the dream. That would be.
That just added about 10 mil onto his fucking price tag.
You know, he saved 10 penalties for Liverpool.
20.
He saved 10 penalties for Liverpool and Ireland.
He's so good. He's so good. But can I say? So there's been an article. So there's a question for Billy Price. Out of all players we currently have injured, who are you most eager to see return? Missing your first choice goalkeeper, centre backs, and 95% of attackers is challenging enough. But being absent for the busiest month of the season will be really tough on players who are fit due to no rotation. And that is so evident in Solanke's performance last night. Kulusevski, these are the most important players. They have to play like 90 minutes every single game because they're the level raisers, and or the bar raisers on the pitch. They're our most important players at the moment. They got to play every game, and you're going to start seeing a drop in percentage of the performance levels just through fatigue. I think January is a month away. We're going to lose some games in December. We will. We are very fragile at the back. But Van der Ven and Romero. It has to be Vicario's absence. He's going to be until January. We have to have a replacement lined up on January 1st. It's negligence if we go into a week into January and we're still trying to negotiate. This is where we negotiate now, so it's done and ready for the 1st of Jan. So holding the shirt up, ready to play the first game in January. I've made a list. I'm not a goalkeeper expert at all. I don't know the first thing comes to goalkeeping. I avoided the position when I was playing football because I'm 5'5". Yeah. Israel from Sporting made some good saves in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Saw his highlight reel.
Looks right. Yeah.
24 is he? Yeah.
Did let in 5 goals overnight against Arsenal.
Forget about that. That lowered his price tag, mate. Daniel Levy, mate.
Be all over it.
His price tag's just dropped. There's a guy called Diouf. Yeah. He's last I checked, I saw this on like a Statman Dave video about 2 years ago when he was playing for Will Still's Rems or whatever, and he had like really good passing stats and saving stats and that. Disappeared off the face of the earth since then. I don't even know where he's playing. Then let's get him.
Yep. Let's go and get him.
Let's go get him. You got Still. You obviously mentioned him in your video. I mean, I makes sense, but again, I'm expecting more. I've been asked about James Trafford. I think Billy Price asked me my thoughts on James Trafford. He didn't look ready last year in the Premier League. He looked very slight. And I think if you're going to have someone to compete with Vicario, he's got to have everything that Vicario's not, almost, to sort of raise Vicario's levels in those scenarios, like coming for crosses, being more brave, etc. I think Trafford, you probably have the same issues. Like he's a very slight goalkeeper, good reflexes, good on the ball, young. But I actually think if he's going to come in, he's nowhere near Vicario, and he'll just stunt his development. There's that Japanese goalkeeper who's got really good stats, Suzuki. Obviously, this is fucking bollocks. I don't even know how I'm reading this out. I just got bored doing uni work.
Yeah,
started naming goalies at week times. Fucking. But Anthony Patterson's interesting one because he's the Sunderland goalkeeper, CAA base. That makes a lot of sense. He's like young, homegrown. I feel like that just screams Spurs all over.
Yeah.
And it looks like a big goalie. Pretty sure he's pretty confident with his fucking teeth. With his feet.
With his teeth.
Yeah, the figures is such a grey area because I don't know anything about goalies. It's such a weird position, and that's where you're going to just trust the recruitment team, just getting someone in who's going to do the job until Vicario comes in, and it would be just more beneficial if he can compete with Vicario.
That's the thing. That's what we need. And look, we trusted them with Vicario. people were skeptical about it, but it worked. He's a good goalie.
Yeah. I trust the team.
And apparently there was talk about like making a sort of another signing in that mold, or certainly trying to identify someone similar to him. But I presume that's probably more in terms of style, which is what we need really. Someone who is. But again, like Forster last night, is it going to be the end of the world if he plays his games? No, it's not ideal. Maybe look, he could make an absolute clanger soon. But the thing is, Ange sort of spoke about it the other day about goalkeepers playing with their feet, and he's like, "Well, I'm not asking him to do." He said something like, "Well, I don't actually. I kind of tell my centre backs not to play to the goalkeeper a lot of the time. It's like it's their responsibility to progress the ball." And as long as Forster is simple with it, as long as he's passing into the six, or because you think about it, like I was thinking about this in the video that I made just now. Spurs is, if you think about what a Spurs move is under Ange, right? It happens so many times where it's goalkeeper into the six, or whoever picks up that sixth position, whether it's Sarr, Bentancur, Maddison, Basuma, one of them will float in there. Could even be the fullback, like the left back coming into there, back into the right side of centre back, out to the right winger. Johnson little kind of bump pass back into the centre, and then we run from there. As long as Forster is crisp enough in his pass into the six a lot of the time, and make sure that he doesn't play it unless if he's under massive pressure, and as long as he keeps it simple, then he'll probably be all right. Like it'll probably be all right. And I was thinking more about the Galatasaray game, and I was like, I was really worried about Forster in that one, despite the fact he made some good saves. Look, if you're 37, or I don't know how old Forster is, but you're 37 or 18, Galatasaray is still going to be an intimidating place to go, and they were really on top of us, and he was under a lot of pressure. So making mistakes is going to be part of that. So maybe he's going to be fine.
Maybe. I think we need to address the issue there, anyways.
We definitely need time. Yeah, exactly. I think it's almost a good thing for us to. Vicario's injury is not a good thing, but it's a thing where it's like, well, you've got to go. We have to do it anyway. So you might as well go do it in January now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, address it and then it's out of the way. And Forster, my biggest compliment to him from yesterday's performance would be that I didn't notice him. I did when he made some good saves, but the goals couldn't really do anything about. And he wasn't erratic. I think some of his performances lately, when he's come in, he has looked messy, and he's looked.
Yeah,
his decision making has been immature from such a mature goalkeeper, and it showed that he was pretty low in confidence. But maybe the game last night would do him good. He wasn't too noticeable, and Vicario's absence wasn't that heavy on the team and the performance. This needs to be addressed in January. There's been talk about Garcia. I think we were looking at him in the summer. I think is that from Espanyol? I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
and then
is that the one
that little goalkeeper?
Well,
people.
Is it Cheval?
Yeah, possibly.
Chevalier. I don't really know too much about him.
Oh, what the
Garcia was the Espanyol one. Yeah, the Lille one. Is that Cheval?
I don't know his name, to be honest, mate. But I've seen some people on Twitter calling for it. There's going to be these.
Lucas Chevalier.
Bougie Twitter accounts that are going to know all this. They're going to know everything about every goal. Fucking hell, every goalie out there.
Yeah, he's a 23-year-old.
I just trust Spurs with it, really.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he's a 23-year-old French goalkeeper. It's Lucas Chevalier, who's the Lille goalkeeper.
It's a good age to recruit, especially for the deputy.
Yeah, great age.
I think so. Great age, 23. On to Fulham then, mate. No Romero, I don't think. I mean, they're saying he's unlikely. So it probably will be forced to Dragiston Davis, a doggy, Porro.
I'm fine with that.
I feel like let's just it's a fucking shit preview. Let's just see.
Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens.
I'm not going to try to sit here and fucking guess what's going to happen now anymore. Like, what? If I haven't got anything good to say, why would I say it?
Yeah. I personally don't think he should risk Romero. I think he should just leave Romero out until Bournemouth. Bournemouth on Thursday. Yeah. Dragiston and Davis have been fine in these. Well, I'd say fine. I think that's a bit harsh, to be honest. They've been good in these last two games. Last night, I thought they were good again. I thought Ben Davis was one of our better players. I thought Dragiston, I don't think I could have any complaints about either of them, to be honest, really, last night, even though we did look vulnerable defensively. I don't think it was down to them. I thought they were fine. So give them another game. Bear in mind, they're inevitably going to have to play together again even when Romero comes back. And Van der Ven isn't far away, I don't think. But I'd imagine that probably won't be till mid-December. But Yeah, I'd go Dragic and Davis. Give them another game.
Hold on for a couple more weeks.
Yeah,
their balance does work. It does, and I think they actually complement each other quite well. Obviously, they're going to be limited, but they're fine. And also, Davis signed a new contract. How do you feel about that, by the way, quickly?
Yeah, fine, absolutely fine. They're absolutely fine.
I'm happy with it.
It's not
Like
even a new contract.
Pod,
It's just an option to
Oh
extend.
yeah,
It's the same as Son. Like he's everyone moans about the fact that Ben Davis is still here, but when he comes in, he always plays well, and nobody moans. So.
No, and you kind of need him around in the dressing room. Young squad, we need as much experience as possible. And he's not like someone he's not someone that's stunting the development of others. He's just coming in as a utility player and he does the job and he sets the standards. And apparently he's the hardest trainer and he's the hardest worker in training. And yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to that at all. I actually I really like that that 1 year sort of contract extension, but. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to start. I thought we were going to get smashed against Man City. I thought we were going to beat Roma. Like my predictions recently have been all over the place. So I don't actually want to say anything. I just want to go to I just want to watch the game and hope for the best. But Fulham are a very good team. And don't forget, can I just say, last year we beat Aston Villa 4-0 away from home.
Who did we have next? 3 to Fulham.
Fulham, yeah, but we got them at home this time, so maybe if shit starts to hit the flat fan, at least we've got the backing of our supporters. But they got some dangerous players: Smith Rowe, Wobie, Traore, Raul Jimenez. But we've got enough to beat.
Yeah, I think the biggest question in terms of team selection is the midfield and obviously the midfield and the front three. They kind of go hand in hand. But I tweeted out earlier, and I'm going to do my preview tomorrow, but. I probably would edge towards going with Decky on the right and Sarr, Basuma, and Maddison in midfield. I think obviously Decky was really good in that free role last night, but I feel like with Fulham having players like Smith Rowe, who is just very good at peeling off players and finding space, making those late runs, and then obviously Traore. Like if he does, I presume Traore will probably play. The transition. I think just to have Sarr in there on the recovery, I think makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Also, I think when you're trying to build out from the back, having Maddison to kind of drop into that back three as we saw last week against City. And someone was saying that Kulusevski's kind of struggled a bit against Anthony Robinson. I mean, he's only played a couple of games against him, but allow him to kind of come inside. You've got Porro and Sarr to go round him when we do break, or Solanke as well. So, yeah, I would probably lean towards having Johnson on the bench and Decky on the right, Sarr in the middle with Basuma. I think Basuma's playing really well at the moment.
I really like Basuma at the moment. He is.
Yeah.
He is. There's been a lot of talk about number 6.
Basuma.
Yeah, well, it's like the Saliba one, isn't it? The same thing.
Yeah,
I think it left an imprint from when Saliba came into Arsenal and they were singing that non-stop to the point where I just don't like that song anymore.
Yeah,
I'm the same with you. But there's a lot of talk about getting number 6. Still think we need number 6. But Basuma, I mean, I've said it before. He was the one I'd identify going into the season as probably the next scapegoat from going off of some reactions last year. Obviously, you get rid of Højbjerg, etc. Get rid of Dyer and Emerson, and you're going to look for the next scapegoat. Basuma, nothing but praise this season, and going into the season with the mistake he made in pre-season, with obviously filmed himself doing laughing gas and stuff, didn't really get into the good books of the fans and the manager. But he's made everyone forget that with his performances. He's been excellent, and when he came on yesterday, I really liked him. And it was very mature sort of cameo. It's just and for game state, he was good, controlling the ball, keeping the ball, getting past Kone, who had a really good game for them. And I think he led by example. It's just a pity that no one else sort of like realised what he was doing and trying to slow the game down and get a bit of possession and put his foot on the ball, etc. But let's move on from Roma onto Fulham at home. A game to make us forget that we drew. Yeah, and make it 2 wins in 2 in the Premier League. I'm excited. You know what? I'm excited to see Spurs again. I know. Are you going? I can't wait. Nah. You? Yeah. I was gonna go. I was about to go actually, but I've just got some stuff Saturday. I think I've got work. But what time is it? Is it 2:00?
1:30.
1:30. 1:30
Sunday
on a Saturday.
Sunday.
Oh.
It's Friday.
Go.
It's Friday today.
Oh, fuck. Sorry. Of course it is. Shit, I'm all over the place. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll watch it then. Yeah, sweet. Okay, I'm not going to go to the game, but I will. I didn't even know if I was going to be able to watch it live. But sweet. All right, legends. Everyone, thank you so much. Can I just say, we've just reached 800 subscribers on YouTube. Massive thank you to everyone who's hit subscribe. If you haven't already, you're a dickhead. No, just subscribe. It do us the world of good. And if you're enjoying it, and thank you to everyone that's supported the channel. We've got the target of 1,000 subs before the new year, but it's looking a bit tight. But before the year anniversary, which is I think the end of February, so let's smash that. And
we'll do
thanks
that.
for listening.
We'll do that. We'll fucking do that. We're going to get 200 subs in December. We're going to do it. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you that for fucking free. We're playing so many games.
100 subs? Well, people going to unsubscribe.
No, 200. No, as in we're going to get 200 more to get to 1,000.
Oh.
Yeah.
200 subs, yeah. That's doable, isn't
it?
Yeah. Just hit the subscribe button. Do your bit.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Legends. Exactly.
Yeah. Everyone, we probably should start saying at the start of the podcast, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I don't know if many people are listening right now.
No. Oh well.
If you are listening, legend. Up the Spurs. Let's beat Fulham.
Up the Spurs.